Hi guys, just FPL here, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'll be talking you guys through the Game Week 35 team selection and how did I do in Game Week 34. So as you can see on the screen here, it is my Game Week 34 team. Now I scored a total of 76 points with a -8 taken. Now it was a slight green arrow to 25k and I did manage to get a lot of points this week. So let me talk you through my team. So firstly, there is a lot of double-digit hauls in my team. Now Marcus Alonso, there's one, Kai Havertz, Saka, and Dumbraka, Salah, and Trent also getting me some points. Now, Alonso and Havertz, the Chelsea boys, did do really well against, Alonso did quite well against West Ham. He picked up an assist, which got him 9 points. And then Havertz, the first game against West Ham, he wasn't looking that great. He got taken off early, of course. I think Chelsea did switch up their team towards the end. But then in the second game against United, he did manage to get an assist. And I would say it was a lucky assist. It did came off his head. And Alonso, he was there and he was the one to score. So 10 points from Alonso, getting 1 bonus point as well. So really happy with my transfer this week. I took a -8 and I think it really did pay off with Alonso, the one man who paid it off. And then we got Reece James. Now the first game he didn't play. He got rest. I think he had a problem with an injury this was normal and we were expecting this because he was playing with an injury in the previous games. And then he did play against United and surprisingly he played right wing back. So I will talk you guys through my transfers later, but I will say this, that before the United game, I did edit the video and I did put in my transfers, but I could change it up, so I will talk you guys through that later. Trent Alexander-Arnold picked up a clean sheet against Everton, but unfortunately I think he got a yellow card. I think if he didn't get the yellow card, he probably could have got some bonus points. And of course, Robertson did help a lot of Robertson owners, he did get 15 points, so it was disappointing to see. Salah picking up an assist. He did play really well and had a lot of chances, but he managed to get an assist, and I will be taking that. Willock, he did play the full 90 minutes. Newcastle got 3 against Norwich, but he wasn't involved in any of the goals. Now, I believe there was one chance he could have picked up an assist, but I think his teammate went and got the ball and got the assist. Saka there, 13-pointer, just really well. I think he scored the penalty against United and got an assist. And I think the assist should have been a goal, but of course David De Gea, he's brilliant, but he did get the assist. Tavares was there in the back post to score that goal, so I was happy to see. And then my forwards, disappointing as always. Kane 2 points, Mateta 2 points, but I will talk you guys through this, that James 2 points. He did play really well in the United game, and I would say this, that he was quite unlucky not to get anything, because of course David De Gea, he's phenomenal goalkeeping from him, and I think James is a talking point to sell or keep him. Moving on to the bench here, Jose Sa, he did pick up 4 to 5 saves in that game, managed to get 3 points, but Wolves, their defense, they look really poor recently. Shah 0 points. Now Newcastle did pick up the clean sheet and back 3 against Norwich, but Shah didn't play, and I think we should have took Eddie Howe's rotation more seriously. But Shah, who knows, if he was on the pitch, he could have been scoring goals. But if you watched the team section last week, Shah was my first team player, so I played a 5-4-1. Mateta came on because Mateta was on my first bench. Broya there, 1-pointer, is disappointing. And then Gordon, Liverpool, should have won a penalty, Gordon, but I don't know what the ref was thinking. Let's jump through the Gaming 35 team selection and transfer plans. So the Gaming 35 transfers, before the United game, it was to bring in Ramsey for Willock to free up space to fund James to Kenzano. Now, I think Kenzano is crucial, but seeing James play as a right wing back against United, I'm not saying that he will play in that position every week, but seeing that him play in the right wing back slot is trying to convince me to keep James. But Cancelo, 40% ownership. If he gets a haul, it will hurt my rank a lot. So thinking about that, currently it's just, it's very hard because Kenzano obviously missed the first game against Real Madrid in the first leg because he was suspended. That is not good news for me, because that just his chances of playing the Leeds game is very high, as you know, City have a title to chase and they won't rotate players like Kenzano. Ramsey is an interesting one now. Aston Villa's fixtures look really good. They double play Norwich this week, but then they end off the season with City. But he is a 4.7 mil midfielder. Now, I haven't looked up his stats, but I'm sure his stats look decent, and for 4.7 midfielder, it's good to have him, to be fair. And then Newcastle fixtures, just I think they play Liverpool, City, and then like Arsenal or Chelsea in the last few. So it's just not good fixtures, and I will look to sell the Newcastle players. And Willock in my team, he has to go. Now at some point, you know, he was there to get me some rank. He did score. I think he did pick up an assist a few games ago, so he will be out. And I think it's more likely either this week, next week, or the week after next week, I will take out Willock. So it's just when, and in a matter of times, when do I take out Willock? So Willock, he has to go. Dewsbury Hall, I was considering, but if I show you guys my team, if I bring Dewsbury Hall, it just doesn't look, the shape of my team doesn't look that great. I will be forced to be playing Mateta and Broya, which is not something I want to do. And I think Ramsey coming in, a cheap midfielder, he's looking good. Aston Villa's attack, you know, you could say they are on the beach and they don't have nothing to play for, but Ramsey, he wants to prove to, you know, Steven Gerrard that he has a place in the Aston Villa team, and he's still young. He wants to prove it to the world, and I think he will fight for that every game. And Aston Villa, you know, if we're moving out one place, will get them slightly more money, so they would want to play for something, and they can't just, you know, just not care about the Premier League and just lose every game. They don't have Europe, the only competition they're in, so I think they will pull full focus. Now, as you can see, I have 0.1 in the bank currently. If I make this move, it will be also 0.1 in the bank. So I'm slightly considering the Reece James move. I might not do it, but who knows, I could do it last minute. But still, now I'm tempted to keep Reece James. Let's jump into my Gaming 35 team selection. So starting off in goal here, we have Jose Sa against Brighton. Now, Brighton, in the recent weeks, they have been scoring, you know, 2-2 against Southampton. They have been scoring some goals, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brighton get a goal in this game. Now, I have to start him because Dubravka plays Liverpool, and I don't think a goalkeeper transfer is necessary this week, as I already have other transfers in mind. So I will be keeping Sa, and the Brighton game at home, who knows, Wolves could, you know, bring back their form at the start of the season and maybe get a clean sheet here. I do think that Wolves' defense have been quite poor recently, but that doesn't mean that they will not be able to get the clean sheet. They are in no other competition, and they will be fighting for that 7th to 6th spot to play in Europe. United, I think they play one game less of United, and they are only 2 points behind them, so they will look to win their games and will look to keep their clean sheets and be solid defensively again. So Jose Sa, I think won't want to waste a transferring him out, and I will keep him in my team this week. Next here is Kenzano, the new signing. Now, I was considering to keep Reece James out. For the sake of the video, let's say I brought in Kenzano and he's starting. Now Kenzano, he's just a brilliant player to own, and I just think that if you don't have him, get him. And that's what I'm trying to say to myself. When against that Watford game, he did get 1 point, yes. But if you watch the game, he's getting up the pitch, and I was really scared to him hurting my rank. And City did concede in that game, but that doesn't mean they won't be able to get a clean sheet in the next few games. Cancelo, he's pretty nailed. He didn't play the Champions League match, so it will be more likely that he will play this match. And City, they have a title to chase. I will say it again and again. They are in the title race, so they won't want to rest players like Cancelo. So every game they'll go. Their goal difference look 4 goals behind Liverpool in the goal difference, so they will look to try to get some clean sheets and will look to try to get more goals. So Cancelo, a great player to own. I think if you don't have him, you should go for him, and I really tempted to go for him. Next year is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now Newcastle away. Newcastle have improved defensively, but their attack just look quite strong recently as well. But again, their attack was quite 50-50, but at the start of Eddie Howe. But then now I think they are more likely to stay in the Prem. And last week, they did back 3 against Norwich, but remember it is Norwich and they are last bottom of the table, even a team like United can score 3 against them, so it's not surprising. And I think Liverpool, again, I'm going to say it, they have a title to chase. It's a title race between them and City, and conceding goals won't be necessary for them to both, so they will try to keep goals, try not to concede as many goals and try to score more goals, as goal difference could come into play at the end of the season to determine who brings the trophy home. So Trent, a brilliant player to own. He's making world-class passes, and those passes, if you have players like Sadio Mane, Firmino, Jota, Diaz, Salah up the pitch, they could finish the goals. And I think Trent, a brilliant option to own. Newcastle have looked better as a team, but remember that when Eddie Howe came in, they have looked better defensively and they're not scoring that much goals. And remember, they played Norwich last week, so it is Norwich, and they haven't been scoring much goals the game before. Next year's Marcus Alonso. Now I will be keeping him a fullback, a great fullback to be fair. He's getting up the pitch. I think he is a great value of price, 5.6 for a Chelsea fullback, who you could say have nothing to play for, but still they have to secure third place. Arsenal, Spurs, who knows, at the end Arsenal and Spurs could go on a run and get top 4, and Chelsea could drop to 5th, but it's really unlikely, and they have an FA Cup final to play, so there will be rotation in the Chelsea game, and it's a matter of time when do they get rotated. In this week, the double game week against Wolves or against Leeds, who knows. I think I will say this, that one of those games Alonso will get rested, so it's just when. So hopefully it's not this week. I won't mind if he get rested next week, because this week my bench doesn't look that strong, and next week my bench will look stronger. So Alonso is getting up the pitch in the penalty boxes, and I'm really happy to own him. The 19-point haul, low ownership, and hopefully he can do it again against Everton. There is a conversation to be said that they should have get that penalty against Liverpool, but it is Everton. They are fighting for survival. I think Everton will put up a fight, but still, remember, it's Chelsea, and Chelsea are a very strong team. And lastly, Lampard. Now, that City goal, they did concede against Watford, and I will say it is quite unlucky to concede. Playing at home, Watford scored 5 goals, conceded 1. I say again, goal difference will come into play. I predict it will come into play at the end of the season. So City, they will want to get more goals and want to concede lesser. And I think that goal, now there is a point to say that that Zinchenko clearance against Dennis could have been a goal as well, but City, they're just controlling the pace of the game. They are 60% more possession, so I think that City are still a solid defense, and I think that they are a better defense than Liverpool, because City do control the possession, and that meaning that they will control more of the ball and have more of the ball. So I think that still Lampard, Leeds have been quite poor, in that Crystal Palace game. It was a boring game to watch. Leeds had their chances but couldn't score, so that just shows that they are still a poor attack, and I think City will win this game quite easily and hopefully get the clean sheet. Moving on to the midfield here, and let's start off with Salah. Now Salah plays Newcastle away. Now I did say that their defense have improved, but still it's a Liverpool attack pushing for a title, pushing for the quadruple, and I think as a United fan saying that the Liverpool could possibly win the quadruple, it doesn't look good. And I will say I hope they don't win the quadruple, because that will just mean United this season will put more shame on the United team. So hopefully they don't. But let's get back to the FPL. Salah, he's been in brilliant form recently. I have to say, 19 points against United, 6 points against Everton, and now against Newcastle. I think that Newcastle defense have improved, but still remember they are a lower half team, and they will concede goals if they play stronger oppositions, like against Spurs a few game weeks ago. They did play Spurs and they did concede 5. So they are capable of conceding against stronger teams, and I think that this game against Liverpool, I will see Liverpool scoring 3 to 4 goals. Salah, he's in brilliant form. I think he won't get rested. I think he will get rested one of those games, but I don't think he'll get rested in this week. Hopefully he doesn't, and I just think he's a brilliant option to own. He should be 100% owned, but I don't know why some people don't have him. Some people sold him for Salah. I mean, some people sold Salah for like a De Bruyne, a Heung-min Son, a Bruno Fernandes. That didn't work out. I think Salah is just a brilliant option. Next year's Bukayo Saka. Now, I just can't believe at Game 32, 33, there was a conversation to sell Saka. He's such a good player to have in my team. The Arsenal attack is on fire now, and I think their defense have dropped recently, have been poorly recently, but their attack is still on form, and Saka is one of the main men up front. He is yellow flagged. Don't panic. I think there was pictures of him in training, and I think he will play this game. As much it is important for Arsenal to get top 4. No other competition. Main focus is the Prem, and they will have more time to recover as they are out of other competition. So I think Saka, he's a really crucial player in the Arsenal team, and I think with them fighting for top 4, he will be play every game. Now West Ham, of course, main focus for them is Europa League football. I think that there is their priority. They did lose 2-1 to Frankfurt, so that puts more pressure on West Ham to do well in Europe and to rotate the squad in the Premier League. And I think that is what will happen. The squad, the West Ham team will rotate, and I think that Arsenal, West Ham have no fit centre back or no centre back that is able to play as Dawson is suspended and the other centre backs are injured. So no fit centre back. It could be a 4-5 goal game for Arsenal, or it could be a low scoring game like 1-0 where West Ham just sit back. Who knows? But I still think Saka a great option to own. Next is Jakub Ramsey, the new signing. Now, I did talk about him just now. Norwich have looked poor recently. They are more than likely to go down. They are just an up-down team. They come up, they go back down. So I think Aston Villa will want to push for this win as they haven't won quite recently. So they did draw against Leicester, and I think they haven't won for quite a long time. So they will want to win, and we know Aston Villa are capable of sacking their managers in the weirdest time. And I'm not saying that Steven Gerrard isn't doing well, but if he doesn't get results in the last few games of the season, who knows what will happen? He could get the sack. And I'm just saying this, so he will want to get his job, save his job, and will want to pick up wins now because he hasn't been winning much games since he came in. So he will want to be winning and give youngsters like Ramsey more chance. Ramsey, he's really new in the Aston Villa team, but he could also get rotated. But they have nothing other competition to rotate, so I think their main focus is on the Prem, and I think they won't rotate. So Ramsey 4.7, if he backs a goal, it will be happy days for me. Green arrow, but 7.4% ownership is just low ownership, and I think that Norwich game, a brilliant game, double after this, a great player to own. Lastly is Kai Havertz. Now Kai Havertz, I brought him in last week. It did pay off for -8. Him, Laporte, and Alonso. If Laporte kept the clean sheet, it could have been a higher scoring game for me. But I'm happy. And now Kai Havertz against Everton. Now he did come off early in that United game, so that could be that coming off early to let him play more minutes in this Everton game. So I think minutes will be managed for Kai Havertz and Mason Mount as well. And I'm really happy I end up on the good side, the better side of the Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, the 50-50, as Havertz did get an assist and Mason Mount didn't get anything. So focus on this game. Everton looked poor recently, so Chelsea, they would want to get ready for that FA Cup final, bring momentum going into that game. Winning games now will be crucial, as after a draw against United, they will want to get back to winning ways before the FA Cup final. So I think Kai Havertz, he's the main number 9. You won't want to be playing Lukaku against an Everton team who could pull up a result against this Chelsea team. They are fighting for survival, and that is really crucial to think about, because teams like these could put up a fight and could put off a shocking result. So upsets are capable of happening in the Premier League, as we saw in the previous seasons. I will not be surprised if Everton get a result here. Just putting that out. But even though if Everton get a result, I feel like they will concede, and I think Kai Havertz could get on the score sheet. Moving on to the forwards here. Firstly, Harry Kane, now a Leicester side who is prioritizing European Conference League. Now I think they got a draw against Roma, I believe, I don't know. but I think they get a draw, and that just puts more pressure on them to do well, to win that game against Roma. So Leicester, they will rotate, and they will rotate heavily against Spurs. And you know, Spurs, they at one point they went on a streak of scoring 4 to 5 goals every game, so they are capable of scoring high margins and fighting for top 4 is Spurs' target. Their top 4 race is not over yet, and they are out of other competition, so Kane could be deadly towards the end of the season, and this is his best opponent to play against. He scored the most goals against Leicester in his career, so it is his favourite opponent to play against, and hopefully he gets something out of this game as well. Lastly, Mateta. Now it was a strong debate, Mateta or Broja. They are both equally bad in my opinion. The budget forwards are just really bad currently, so I won't wanna jumping on them. So I think Mateta, I will be keeping him for this week. Southampton look poor recently, so wanna keep him, but that if he gets a goal, I won't be surprised. Crystal Palace as well haven't put out a great performance in the past few weeks, so Mateta, Southampton away. Southampton, I feel like, is the weaker defense against Crystal Palace. So Broja against Crystal Palace, I think it will be harder to score as Mateta. Southampton has a weaker defense, so I will be starting Mateta this week. Moving on to the bench, Dumbreka, Liverpool at home, I won't be starting him. Liverpool just looks so strong. 4.5 goalkeeper just sitting on my bench. First bench will be Broja, you know, players like Alonso, Havertz, Ramsey, Mateta, Lampard. Players like these could guarantee and Broja, if needed, hopefully not, could come on for these players. Next is Gordon, Chelsea at home. It's a tough fixture. Chelsea look really good defensively. Second on my bench, worst case scenario, he comes on. And lastly, Shah, won't want to be playing him. He's a defender and won't get any chance of. I don't think that Newcastle will get the clean sheet. It's very unlikely. So yeah, captains real quick. Salah's my captain currently. Vice captain on Havertz, but I won't be surprised if I go for a differential captain like a Kane or Kenzano. This is my team, and it's been me, Jess FPL. See you guys in the next one.